BMW have relaunched one of their most legendary cars that came with different branding in every bloodline. First as the BMW 2002, lived on by the original E30 M3, reincarnated as the BMW M2, now called the BMW M2. You cannot deny the fact that this car certainly looks badass. With lightweight 19-inch alloys hanging off massively flared arches, the M styling division really got it right. But let's be honest, if you wanted a good-looking BMW, you wanted the M4. The M2 is marketed as the driver's car. However, unlike the 1M, a single twin-scroll turbocharger replaces the twin-turbo setup. Electronic steering and an electronic diff replace the hydraulic steering rack and mechanical LSD. With the option of a lightning-quick MDCT gearbox, the driver's car in the M range has finally become a cyborg. Good news is, it's a sophisticated cyborg that likes to have fun. The rear wheels are driven by an electronically controlled dynamic locking diff that can open or lock and access 98 different parameters of slip in between in just 150 milliseconds. The car stability control system feeds information to the diff, and depending on the drive mode selected, the percentage of lock will be calculated. So if you ask the ESP to let you, it'll dance like every driver's car should. The all-new motor features 6 inline forged aluminium pistons and rods from the M4 in a cast-iron sleeved block. High-pressure injectors aid the variable cam timing known as VANOS, which works in tandem with the variable valve control known as Valvetronic. To spool the twin-scroll turbocharger now molded to the exhaust manifold to produce maximum torque at just 1,400 RPM, which is a massive 465 Newton meters, which can be temporarily boosted to 500 Newton meters, produced in just 50 RPM more. 272 kilowatts are produced at 6,500 RPM, with a very linear power delivery according to this graph from BMW. With a modified oil sump and multiple additional oil pumps providing lubrication to other components such as the optional MDCT gearbox, turbocharger, and even the rear end of the oil sump under hard braking, so even on the track the M2 should be game for a thorough punisher. The lightweight aluminium axles front and rear are the same found in the M4, coupled to a dry sump 6-speed manual gearbox that tells the ECU when to blip the throttle. You'll get to 100 km an hour in 4.5 seconds. Additional oil coolers allow the launch control in the MDCT gearbox to slice that time by 2 split seconds. The M2 will then run into the electronic limiter at 250 or 270 km an hour, depending on how much of money you're willing to pay. Carbon fiber, Alcantara, and BMW's connected drive should make the M2 the perfect hideout to have some serious fun, immersed in the soundtrack of that valve-controlled exhaust. Priced at just under 800,000 Rand for the manual, and 50,000 Rand more for the MDCT, the M2 is aimed squarely at the hyper-hot hatch market.